Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. This is called the Transformers Tag Challenge. And what this is, it's kind of like a telephone game where a YouTuber will tag you, and you have to answer 15 Transformer related questions, and then you tag the next person. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video, kind of like the vlogs that I do every once in a while, with some noise in the background because I didn't close my door, and the dogs are going to make sure that they interrupt. So if you hear barking or jingling or anything like that, that's Zul and Vigo over there wreaking havoc, as they always do. All right, so I was tagged this morning by Jason, the Patriot Prime Reviews. Jason, thank you so much for the nomination. I'll go ahead and answer these questions, and then I'm going to tag Declan, excuse me, frog on the throat. So I'm going to tag Declan next. He's DRLockdown Reviews. So Declan, you're on deck as soon as this video is out. You're next to answer these questions. So, without any further ado, here we go. Question 1. What is your favorite Transformer toy in your collection? Easy, easy, easy answer. My original Psycho. Of course, I'm messing around. I had to do it. I had to do it. He's right here on my desk. He's so wobbly, he won't even stand up. No. Seriously, though, my favorite Transformer of all time has always been and will always be my G1 Optimus Prime. Now, this is not my original. From my childhood, I don't have any Transformers from my original Transformers from my childhood. But this is that one of the questions? Who was my first Transformer? I don't know. But my first Transformers were Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. The G1s, obviously. I don't remember which came first. I was very young. So I don't know, but I do remember those two were my very first Transformers. And Optimus Prime, as you guys know, is that's a big passion of mine. I love Optimus Prime. I love the character in all of its incarnations. So I've talked about this guy before. This is one of the commemorative reissues. I did replace the smokestacks, give him some longer smokestacks. He does have a matrix of leadership inside him there. But yeah, just, you know, anytime I need a Transformer to fiddle around with, this is kind of my go-to. I always go back to Optimus Prime. He just seems like the perfect Transformer for me. So that's my favorite Transformer in my collection. Question number 2. What is your most expensive Transformer? So this is kind of seem like a little bit of a copy from Jason at Patriot Prime, but I also, I have two because they cost the same. So my two most expensive Transformers are the commemorative reissue. I don't even know how to hold this guy. Commemorative reissue, Fortress Maximus. This guy was a holy grail of mine. This was a figure that I honestly thought I would never get a chance to own. And so when they did the commemorative reissue, I was one of the first people to, you know, sign up for the pre-orders. You know, just like Jason, I saved for a couple of weeks. I did some overtime at work just so that I would be able to purchase this guy. If I remember correctly, I may be wrong, it was a couple of years ago, but if I remember correctly, this guy was selling for about somewhere between $350 to $400. I want to say $350. I'm leaning towards $350. So that's what I've paid the most for a Transformers, $350 on this guy. And then I also paid $350 for this guy right here. So, which is kind of cool because we have an official, and then we're going to have a third party. Make Toys Green Giant. Was about the same price, and again, I did overtime at work. I saved for him for a couple of weeks just so that I could get this guy. This is when Hercules was really, really popular, and this guy just kind of seemed, I like this one better. And he was half the price of Hercules. So yeah, so those are the two Transformers that are the most expensive in my collection. Now, which ones are worth the most? It's really kind of up in the air. I have so many G1 and G2 figures that it's really kind of up in the air. I couldn't possibly tell you. I don't have like a super rare mint complete figure that like Jason had. So I don't know. Pick a G1 or a G2, I guess. But those are the two most expensive ones that I paid the most for. Question 3. How many Transformers do you own? I'm not even going to try. I have no clue. If I had to guesstimate now, it kind of feels like an exaggeration, but the census between myself and my family leans towards the thousands, the low thousands. which seems weird because it doesn't look like I have that many here. But I was a bit of a completist there for a while. So in the past year, I have filled up approximately 6 or 7 bins with Transformers out of this room and taken them out of this room. And I still have as many, you know, there's more over here that you guys are not seeing and up above the camera here. So, and there's a closet there that's full of them as well. So yeah, like my animated line is near complete. I think it's only missing 2 figures. Prime line complete except for like 2 Japanese exclusive figures. An extensive Beast Wars line with, you know, all of the main characters. Any show character I have, you know, stuff like that. So if I had to guess, it would probably right around 1,000, maybe, you know, give or take. But like I said, bins and bins and bins of them that are full that I am just not gonna go pull out and get them out of storage, out of the closet and out of the garage and start counting. There's just no room or time for that. So sorry to be vague on that one. All right, quick edit, guys. As I'm editing the video, I just realized that I skipped a question. So I'm coming back to re-record that one question. I'm gonna put it in between there. Question 4. What is your worst Transformer that you own? Without a doubt, had to be Revenge of the Fallen RC, the mainline figure, not the later, like, more like a preschool version that came out later. That was actually a better figure than the mainline one. The mainline Revenge of the Fallen RC, got that figure for my daughter, and I was, honestly, it's the only time I think I have ever been angry at a figure. I have buyer's remorse. I was upset when I was trying to show her how to do it, how to transform it. It was such a mess of a figure. I could not believe that figure actually made it past QC and into production. That's an awful, absolute worthless piece of garbage crap figure. Without a doubt, 100%. That is the worst Transformer figure ever made. All right, so I think with that, I'm just going to cut it back to the regular video. Next one, question 5. What is the best/worst place to find Transformer? Easy answer, eBay. You can pretty much find anything you're looking for on eBay. But if it's something that you want really, really bad, usually you're going to pay the price and you're going to get scalped. So unfortunately, that is the best and the worst place to find Transformers. I also like the forums, the trade, buy-sell trade forums over at WTF. Yeah, WTF, no, TFW 2005, WTF's the podcast. TFW 2005's got a buy-sell trade forum. And so you can talk with people there one-on-one and just kind of trade. And it is kept watch over so that you don't get scammed. And usually other, you know, you're buying, selling, and trading from other collectors. So usually you're going to, you know, be taken care of. So it's a good place to go. Question 6. What Transformers figure do you want the most? That one's kind of tough because that one changes over time. You know, for years, it was Fortress Maximus. That was what I wanted the most. Now I have Fortress Maximus, so what do I want the most next? So it kind of changes because you get these holy grails and then you finally achieve them. And then, you know, with all of us collectors know, it's kind of like a sickness. You get the thing and then you want the next thing. So that's always changing. Currently, I'd say probably a G1 Scorponok complete. Just because I have all the other city bots. I've got, you know, Fortress Maximus. I've got a Metroplex. I've got a, oh boy, what's he called? I can't think of it. Triptychon. Triptychon, and I've got a bunch of the Scramble cities. So, you know, I have the ability to form all these cities, and I just don't have Scorponok, so he's missing. So right now that's the one that I kind of would like to get my hands on the most. Next question, question 7. What Transformers figure do you want to see made? Easy question. Star Convoy. I'd like to see a remake of Star Convoy. I've got the original G1 Star Convoy, one of my favorite Prime figures ever. I would love to see that figure get redone with modern technology, done right now, you know, done properly. I'm talking about maybe like classics and generations technology. You know, give them some proper articulation and some proper proportions and still be able to do the base and the motorized action, that kind of stuff. I'd love to see that done. But yeah, I'd like to see a remake of Star Convoy. I think that'd be pretty cool. Next question, number 8. What is the first Transformer figure you bought? Okay, so I already said that the first Transformer figure I owned was Bumblebee, G1 Bumblebee and G1 Optimus Prime were the first 2 figures that I owned. Those were obviously given to me. I was a child. The first Transformer figure that I remember buying, I bought in high school. My first car was a yellow 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle. And it was painted Corvette yellow. So as you can imagine, right away, I thought of Bumblebee. So the first thing I did is I drove down to the mall, went to KB Toys looking for a Bumblebee. G1 Bumblebee was no longer in stores back then. This is 1992, so you couldn't find a G1 Bumblebee on the shelf anymore. Instead, I found a G2 Bumblebee, and I still have him today. This is probably the one and only toy, and I'm talking out of everything you see in this room and everything I own. It's all been purchased later in life. You know, a lot of figures that I had as a kid are not my originals. I bought them later. This is probably the only figure, the only toy that I've carried over from my quote-unquote childhood, from 1992 when I was driving and bought my first car. So I picked this guy up at KB Toys, and he rode around in my Volkswagen with me for years, which is why he's sun faded. So this is the first one that I bought with my own money, that I went and got for myself. Next question, question 9. Do you prefer official or third-party Transformers, and who is your official third-party company? Who's your favorite third-party company? I like both. I don't prefer one over the other. I think they both offer something that's different and unique from each other. So, Hasbro's cool because if you're on a budget, you can, especially in the last couple of years, Hasbro's been putting out a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of collector-oriented stuff, things that we've always wanted. Hasbro's really been putting their foot forward into getting those done. And, relatively low prices as compared to third parties. Low prices compared to third party. They're kind of catching up to what third parties were doing first, which was giving us those figures that we've always wanted. So I really don't prefer one over the other. If it's something that I want, I don't care who makes it. I'll just go and get it. Now, favorite third party company. I guess my first introduction was who made the City Commander? Fans Project. So Fans Project, because they made the City Commander and they were kind of my introduction into third party. I really like what they've done. And then Fans Project, no, I just said Fans Project. Make Toys, Make Toys made the Green Giant, and I like a lot of their stuff too. But I don't know if I really prefer one over the other. Again, same thing. If I see something that I like a lot, I'll just get it. And so I don't know that I would say I prefer one over the other. But those are the two that jumped to mind just because they were kind of like my first introductions to third parties. Next question. What are your thoughts? Question number 10. What are your thoughts on KO Transformers? I don't care. I liked them better when they were easier to find. Back when you could go to discount stores and find them. Just because I like to customize. And they're just kind of easy fodder to work on. There can be some really, really crap KOs out there. I've bought some KOs that are absolute crap. You get them out of the package and they're so brittle, they just break on you, and they're just absolute garbage. Or they'll be missing transformation steps, or, like you want to transform them. I found a Jetfire that's about this big at the dollar store, which I thought would be really, really cool. Well, he was in robot mode. You couldn't transform him into jet mode because there was parts that didn't move and, steps were missing. So stuff like that is crap. Fortunately, that was a bug, so out the window. But I've also found some really cool KOs that I've done for custom projects, and I've reviewed some of them on my channel. You guys have probably seen those. So, it's lately there's been some really, really high quality KOs coming out lately. I've reviewed a couple recently of the Primes, and then I've got a couple of G1 placeholders on my shelf as well. You've seen me do Sunstreaker, you've seen me do Mirage, you've seen me do Reflector, which were all KOs that were very high quality KOs that cost about anywhere between $40 to $45, maybe $50 at most, as compared to a couple $100s for an original one if you can find one. And they were brand new in the box. So, for me, that's a great placeholder because I just don't I can't justify spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a figure when the KO, the high quality KO, is just as good, and it's for me, for my shelf. So, you know, it's a very touchy subject because I know it doesn't happen as much anymore, but it still happens. In the past, it was really, really bad, where people were trying to sell off KOs as if they were original G1s, and they were passing them off for hundreds of dollars to people who didn't know any better, and that's just not cool. And that's just left such a sore spot in the community that typically it's just almost kind of like a bad word, saying KO word, you know. But if done for the right purposes, I have absolutely no problems with them. I think they're okay, and they offer a good, you know, alternative. Like for example, on my G1 shelf, so I'm okay with that. Where am I? Questions 10. Next question, question 11. Who is your favorite Transformers character? Really? Really? Optimus Prime. Any iteration, any generation, any reinvention of Optimus Prime. I love Optimus Prime. You guys know that about me. That's just Prime. Plug. Question 12. What is your favorite Transformer series? Okay, my favorite Transformer series. It's not necessarily the best Transformer series, but my favorite Transformer series is G1. Nostalgia. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up watching Transformers every day. Run home from school. Yes, run. I had to run on foot home from school to watch Transformers. And we watched Transformers, G.I. Joe, and He-Man. And then in the mornings before school, we watched Mask. Because if you didn't, then the next day, you had nothing to talk about with anybody else. And so everybody would be hanging out talking about last night's episodes of Transformers, and you'd be sitting over here with nothing to talk about. So, yeah, G1. I love G1. I still go back to it. I've got it on DVD. Who collects DVDs? I do. I've got most Transformer series on DVD, actually, and I just kind of rotate them through. Recently, I've been watching Master Force again. You know, it's all in Japanese with subtitles, but I've been going through that one again recently. I like going back and just randomly going through different series, but G1's always going to be my favorite, just for nostalgia purposes, you know. Nostalgic purposes. Question 13. Which do you prefer, Hasbro or Takara on the regular line? Movies, generations, etc. I don't care. Hasbro is what is available to me. If I can find a Takara figure every once in a while, I can get, you know, I'll get it. But again, prohibitively costly. If I want a specific character, or usually lately I've just been kind of collecting primes anyway, and I kind of stopped collecting everything else. So, you know, I'll just get whatever's available to me. For example, with the Power of the Primes, or not Power of the Primes, with the Titan Returns, I've got the Leader Optimus Prime, the one that looks like the Power Master. I really, on that, for that particular figure, I prefer the Takara version, which I don't have, and I really want to get my hands on. So it just kind of depends, but usually I don't care. I just get whatever's available to me here. 14, Transformers movies. Love them or hate them? So, I love the first one. Absolutely love the first one. I know it's not perfect. I know it didn't have enough Transformer time, too much human time. All of the usual Michael Bay problems in movies. I have the exact same problems with the Turtle movies. But when that first one came out, I remember watching that in theaters and being just so excited. I really, really enjoyed that first movie. Second one was meh. The third one was good. I enjoyed the third one too. Fourth one, not so much. At least they brought some new figures, right? And then the fifth one just was bad. I did not like that fifth movie at all. Not even a little bit. And then last question. Do you think Hot Rod got Optimus Prime killed in the Transformers movie? Yes, I do. Plain and simple. Optimus Prime. Now here's the thing. I think Optimus Prime was gonna die anyway, even if whether Hot Rod showed up or not. I mean, for the way that the events happened, yes, Hot Rod got him killed. That's what got Optimus Prime killed in that moment. But had Hot Rod not shown up, I think Optimus Prime still would have ended up getting killed, because G1 Optimus Prime, I don't think would have had the... I don't think he would have shot Megatron. The way he had him you know, just Megatron was on the ground with no weapon, defenseless, and Prime had the gun to him, I don't think that G1 Prime would have pulled the trigger. Now, modern Prime, Michael Bay Prime, would have ripped his face off in a heartbeat. We all know that modern Prime would have killed him in a heartbeat. I don't think G1 Prime would have done that. G1 Prime was not a killer. G1 Prime would have hesitated, and Megatron would have reached for that gun anyway and shot him anyway. But the way that the events happened, yes, Hot Rod got him killed. Does that make sense? I don't know. But anyway. So there it is. There's my 15 questions. Again, Jason at Patriot Prime. Thank you for nominating me or tagging me. Hopefully this hasn't been too long and boring. So Declan over at DRLockdown, you're up next. So you're next on the block to answer the questions. As always, guys, let me know what you think of this video. Leave me a comment down below. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see. And I'll talk to you next time.